my friends, this is Gosia from Cosmic Agency. Today I'm going to share with you one of two videos about a very interesting subject that came up because of Matthias's, my boyfriend, my partner, interest in the topic of astral military work. And we were talking first about the MILABs, the military abductions, but then something interesting came up, and that is the idea of astral abductions and also astral military. And this is something that Mari Swaruu talked about in a video called, I think, Star Seeds Part 8. So go to that video if you want to know more. But apparently, and this was something new for me and also for Matthias, exist military astral units. They go and they train to astral project themselves into the astral plane, where they go and perform different tasks and operations, and they meet and they fight and they have combat. And apparently this is very important, what happens there, because what happens in the astral reflects then into the physical. A lot of stuff, a really important and relevant for Earth stuff, is taking place in the astral. So the military know this, and they have sort of figured out how to hack this, and using technology, and not only technology, if you are capable of doing this naturally, astrally, you can do this, but technologically, using immersion pods, using the frequencies, because each one of these places in the astral have its frequencies, they project themselves there and they meet and they perform different things. Now, how exactly do they meet, do they find that frequency? That's going to be in a second video, because here I have a question. Mari talked about the astral worlds and how they are produced subjectively from within, that they are a reflection of your subjective world, and each person has their own subjective astral plane. So if they are all individual, if I'm creating there whatever I want because it's my astral plane, how is it that those soldiers find some kind of a common ground there to meet? So there has to be some sort of a common astral realm where they can go and meet and fight these bad dudes. How do they find the frequency? So that's going to be in the next video. But in this one, coming back to this one, first it's going to be a chat with Yazhi Swaruu, where I'm like first touching on the subject. And then in the second part of this video, it's going to be Matthias, myself, and Yazhi deepening more this subject and talking about the astral, how to protect yourself against possible MILABs, abductions. Is it possible to differentiate between a negative MILAB astral abduction, because there are physical but also astral abductions, and how to differentiate between those and the good operations that you are performing astrally? Because you could be, as you know now from the Mari videos, you could be a part of the positive side, military astral unit, elite special force in the astral, and perform all kinds of operations for your group, for your race, for yourself. So how to differentiate? And this is all very, 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 very interesting. I don't want to reveal more because this way you won't enjoy so much the video. So this is the video for today. The next part is going to be about what I just said, about how do they find that frequency? How do the military find the frequency to send their soldiers there in the astral, if the astral is supposed to be such a subjective realm? And then also, I have another question, something that didn't fit for me in my own questioning of things. We have always said that the astral is sort of like a caricature world, a copy world of this one. Even though it's all just one world, but let's just say there is an astral and physical world where we carry the ideas to the astral, and then it is formed. The astral world gets generated and becomes based on our thoughts and ideas and what we project into it. Like I said, it's subjective. But here, Mari is also saying, and Yazhi, that actually everything gets generated in the astral. A lot of things are happening in the astral that then reflect on the physical. That's why it's so important to send those military operations, to perform and execute those military actions in the astral, because they have figured it out, the military guys, that what happens there gets reflected then in the physical. And that's why a lot of star seeds go there into the astral. That's what they do. That's their task. You think it's actually your task to be here in the physical, but actually many of the star seeds, they use, as Mari said, they use the body, physical body here, as their starship, mothership, to which they can come back after they have performed some sort of operation in the astral, which is actually the main part of their mission here. So, coming back to my question in the video number 2, if stuff happens there in the astral and seems to be, I don't know, more important, or, you know, important, that it then generates into the physical, how does it relate to the information that the astral is a copy and manifestation of the physical? So we are going to talk about this as well in the next video. And also in the second video, I'm going to ask Yazhi what is actually going on in the astral right now. Because Mari said whatever happens in the astral reflects in the physical. Is very relevant to what happens there. So I'm asking, what is it that is happening there in the astral at the moment? So Yazhi will answer this as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching until this point. And until very, very, very soon. I'm running out of lines to end my videos with. Enjoy.
Originally in English, August 2023. Conversation with Yazhi Swaruu. MILAB, military abductions, do happen to starseeds because they are heavily monitored by Earth's military. Yet there is no concrete evidence for it, and there can never be with these sort of things. Many starseeds are indeed being taken astrally to work in MILAB and SSP missions, and we do know that is happening to a lot of people. Yet we don't talk much about it due to lack of hard evidence to work with as for a subject for the people. Even our drones would be useless to detect that, as what they are looking at is a person there materially, as we are in the same reality realm. And those guys are usually messing around with people astrally. Although there are physical abductions as well, depends on each case. Our drones can only detect the material side and a little of the astral, but not the full spectrum, as it is so large and diverse. The best equipped of us here to deal with that sort of things going on the other side, affecting the material side, are Sophia and Mari. Okay, and how can one stop MILAB abductions? The person himself, herself, can stop it. No one else can. They must learn to control dreams and lucid dreams and astral travel as exercises, not needing to achieve it. That would help a lot. It can be stopped from the astral side. That's why only the abducted person can do it. Same procedure as when astral dark entities mess with you. Once exposed, they have no use for you. Is there a way to distinguish between astral abduction and physical military type abduction? As Mari explained in her videos, and she will say more, there is astral military, or worded differently, there is military in the astral. How do they get to the astral? They astral project consciously and form military units on the other side. Mari and Yazhi know this because they do the same, and they've encountered them. Astral military, according to Mari, is not necessarily a bad thing. It all depends on who, and yes, there are opposing forces there. What do they do there? Fight their opponents, who are also astral military projecting. Same as on the physical side, for the same reasons. Meaning, a starseed could be a part of an elite, good unit on the other side. Doesn't mean that he or she is being exploited. But what practical purpose does this serve for the physical plane? It affects everything, physical and non-physical planes. The non-physical is a lot larger than the physical, that is only a very small aspect of experiential reality. You manipulate reality from the astral. Wow, okay. Astral military, not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, that's a very interesting concept. I didn't know that. But, for example, there is a military officer projecting to the astral and fighting a bad dude there. Then they both wake up here. Then how what they did there reflects in the physical plane? The bad dude may act in such a way where he is no longer bad, or can cause the bad dude to make a mistake in the physical and be apprehended. This is quite evident when someone goes to bed and to sleep and gets off for 8 hours and wakes up exhausted. Although there are other explanations too as to why someone wakes up tired. If a starseed's personal energy is very positive, that energy transcends to the astral, so it is difficult, if not impossible, to use him or her for bad things. And with the MILAB abductions, Federation would be aware of them, right? Would they have records of all MILABs? I mean physical ones? They are perfectly aware, yet as we can't either, they cannot do much about it. Again, that's why they operate astrally. Because whatever they do is with near total impunity.
Mari said that what happens in the astral affects the physical side. Are the most important wars now happening in the astral?
It is not a here and there situation. It is both. But it is in the astral where they are being generated and where the most decisive battles are taking place. From the point of view of the material world, what happens in the astral is stronger from the point of view of the events that matter most.
So what function do wars have in the material world?
Basically, they are for the war itself, to generate the kind of frequencies and energy that feed the astral beings that are producing them from the other side. Okay, can people who form military units in the astral, especially if they are abducted by military, be used to be triggered and follow remote orders from afar in the physical? That's another department, the MK Ultra. I am talking about the astral. In general, though, see all this in terms of frequency. There is only so much the bad guys can do against someone depending on his or her frequency. Do Taigetan men and women do that? Astral project to do this work? Military astral work? Few people can, even in Taigetan. But yes, it is done. Here, the ones who I know do that are Yazhi, Mari, and Alanim. But what do they do exactly? Just observing them or actually doing something there together? They protect the ship from astral intrusions, and there are many. All those people who are mentally trying to see on board, to see if we are really here. Just about everyone. But we cannot tell one from another, usually. A few months ago, an entity was bothering Yazhi, for example. She saw him as a horrible creature by the window, like a half-rotten cadaver with mushroom blonde hair. That does not live on board Toleka. It followed her here and hasn't been seen since.
So what did she do with it?
You know, Yas, she went after him and became the hunter. It ran away. That's how you get rid of them.
If it followed her, it means she had to be somewhere where it lived. Where did she go in the first place?
Yaz is all over the place astrally. You know that.
Must be fun. So, hunting them back?
Yes, or at least facing them fearlessly. Fear is their only weapon. Yaz is a little girl, but she says she can also be a monster to the monsters.
Cool. Now, going back to the astral fights, I was thinking, if you were already an energy being beyond physical, there wouldn't be any warfare there to begin with, right? Because those energetic beings live beyond duality in games of good and evil. I am not talking about projecting astrally, but actually transcending the physical and just being a light being, in purely energy form. You need to be in lower realms to fight, no?
There are fights in the lower astral, the realms that is a caricature of the material world. There is a lot of duality there. As you said, it is only well above where there are no conflicts.
Right, because Matthias, for example, always says he believes himself to be a light being who fights demons. Okay, yes, I understand that feeling, but it has to be a memory of some lower realms, because the true light being would already reside in planes well beyond the fight. No duality there.
Can be in both, at will.
Ah, both. Yes, makes sense. But it would need to be with a full understanding that it is a role, that good and evil are the illusion of the mind. From that expanded view, of course.
Yes. So if there is any fight, it would have to be a willed one. And that is what so many souls do. That's why they incarnate on Earth and elsewhere.
Yes, because they have the drive to do something. However, if you were a being truly beyond duality, would you even feel that drive anymore?
Gets boring. That's why we are all down here, in the material realms.
Another chat, August 2023. Conversation between Yazhi, Matthias, and Gosia. I have a question regarding Mari's videos on the subject of positive astral units and engaging in positive operations for your stellar race and beyond. But then there are also MILABs, where starseeds are militarily abducted for not so positive reasons. How to distinguish which side of things is someone involved in astrally?
I like to think, like Tina said, that a person's intentions and frequency here transfers to the astral side. Meaning, if you hate injustice here, it would mean you would be doing good on the other side as well. I mean, you can't be a good guy in the physical and a bad guy in the astral. It's all you.
Yes. I think that no one should feel like a victim, as in being programmed. Because going even further, the only programmer for your life is you. By the way, Mari got attacked in the astral yesterday.
Maybe she got attacked because she is active and spilling the beans about the subject?
We think so, yes. Strong attack, but she managed it. It was an entity visitation, like a stop it.
How did she get rid of it? Told it to piss off imagining love and light with rainbows hugging the thing?
Something like that, yes. She described it as an entity in a brick and concrete box with rounded corners, and only its hands were visible coming out of the only little window on one side, and those hands were the hands of a dead body, and all full of blood.
Wow, very awful.
But it is interesting to see a reaction coming from the lower astral, especially when Mari was so peaceful yesterday, so no reason for that. No bad scary movie or anything like that to influence her mind.
It's a good indicator to keep going and doing what she is doing then. It hurts them.
Yes, you hurt them more by showing them no fear and much love. That is toxic for them. Oh, I forgot to say that little window was only large enough to put 2 hands out through it, and it had iron bars, as if someone was killed there by building the brick and concrete square and leaving it to die inside. And the hands were the only thing it could move out, as in pleading for mercy and help. That is a visitation.
Okay. Hope Mari is fine and not shaken by it.
She's fine, but it's bothersome. Always is.
Why did it create that specific picture to Mari?
That only Mari can respond. It is also a mix with dream symbolism. The square box is seen by Mari as a 666.
It's hard to generate love feeling towards something like that. I feel it would not be strong enough. It would be forcing yourself to feel love. Your subconscious would know it's not real.
At least show no fear and command it to go away.
Yes, that would be easier for me.
Or imagining you become a light being that illuminates everything and shows the entity the path to the afterlife, as Mari said she did. Going back to the original question, you asked how to prevent MILABs from happening. You would need to consciously train yourself in astral traveling and astral projection. That is very possible. And if you can't, fake it, imagine it. The astral works differently than the material world. What you imagine while there is very strong and actually affects the scene.
And how to distinguish if you are taken by MILAB and programmed, or just working for the good astral side?
You can't know unless you explore the astral a lot. All you can do is study how you feel each time. Plan your own military operations. You don't need to shoot at anything for real. Use your imagination. Everyday challenges can be seen as operations. I say this because I kinda do that myself. Use affirmations and treat all this as you would treat an entity visitation. You must be strong and say, that is enough, stop it, you shall not pass. Command everything to stay away.
Becoming like Gandalf.
Exactly, and I am not kidding. Remember, fantasy becomes real very fast in the astral. Everything is manifested very fast there. So don't think you are wasting time or being naive because you imagine things like shields made of light. They become real there, as they do in the material world as well, only it is slower there.
Do this right before falling asleep?
Yes, but it works better if you have that in mind as much as possible during waking hours as well. You must feel empowered all the time, and that translates to the astral and when asleep.
All the dreams that I do remember are about war, torture, jumping here and there, hanging from places, etc. I never have casual dreams.
Those go exactly with doing strong military astral work.
But that is of my own choosing. I am doing this because I want to or I have to. No backing out of it?
You can, if you've had enough. But you must empower yourself, so that way you can command it all to stop. You must learn to deactivate those dreams by imagining things like becoming a ball of tremendously powerful white light. That will dissolve everything away.
I don't think he will want to stop doing that, all of that. Or yes, Matthias?
I hate injustice and shitheads who do harm. I have no problem cleaning the trash. It's that or sitting on a cloud playing harp or sipping juices in the beaches of Temur.
I actually enjoy messing with entities on the other side. They ought to hate me by now. I walk in the shadows, looking for those things that creep in the night. I become the scary thing at night. I will walk the valley of death, and I will fear no evil. Do the same, and it will all go away. They say, "Hey, look, a little girl astral traveling. Let's go and scare her." And they fall into my trap. You must become the apex predator in the astral. No need to be big and muscular there. It's all in your mind.
Fight fire with fire? Same principle? Become the hunter instead of the victim.
Yes. See this like in video games. Look, when you play a shooter and like in Call of Duty, when the enemies are all coming against you and you are in the game's survival mode, they throw wave after wave at you. I actually made an experiment. In Call of Duty, I could get to level 27 when I'm the predator there to eliminate the opposing forces. And I could only get to level like 12 when in running mode, as a victim trying to survive. That little experiment with my PlayStation was quite revealing for me. Same for life. Same in the astral. Especially in the astral.
Cool. I could apply that as well. But, takes training, I guess. I have had moments few times when my hair got all tense, I felt immobilized, full of fear, and it was a dark room.
Everything takes training.
When that happens, it's hard to snap out of it.
When that is happening, go to the fear. Don't fight it. It works inversely. The more you fight it, the more fear is generated. The more you accept the fear and do nothing or even move towards that what you fear, the less it becomes.
But those soldiers, who do they fight in the astral?
Against other astral soldiers and against beings that are causing problems to those they are fighting. Nothing new. It has always been like that.
I imagine that the concept of astral soldiers is relatively new on Earth.
The artificial ones are new, yes. The ones that go in there artificially, as Mari explained, with an immersion pod. But the others have always been angels versus demons, that old story.
It's interesting. So those artificial ones could see or talk to the people who passed on and stayed in the astral, or not?
Yes, but it depends on those people too, where they are. It's not like they can go and talk to the dead.
Okay, Yazhi, last question since we are on the topic. A while ago, someone asked me this. Do you know what those numbers could refer to? Sometimes, when I feel really down, I repeat the words Echo 5691, Bravo 5028. Numbers changed. Is it some kind of automatic call or what? This has happened to me many times.
Oh shit! Those sound a lot like activation codes for deep cover operatives. Those also apply to the astral operations.
Good thing.
It's like with MK Ultra. When those codes are sent, they are triggers to start an operation.
So, not good?
Not good nor bad. It depends on who put them there.
It means that it's not working with the military now in the material world. Either it is some past life thing filtering to this one, or it's astral work. But those codes were used a lot during the Vietnam War in the case of Special Forces operatives deep undercover.
Why would both sides use similar codes?
Those are quite universally used.
And why such typical ones? Why not something like 254 SOC, Yellow Bear 06?
That is used as well. Like calling an operative Cat Shit 1. It works as well. That's actually from a movie, Cat Shit. Some CGI bunny Delta Force operatives deep in Afghanistan. Cool movie, well done. Nice to see a cute bunny with a Barrett .50 cal sniper rifle.